All right, I think we are live. Hey guys, it's Jeff from Beer Cartel, and I'm joined with Lockie.
With Lachlan, yep, good to be here.
So welcome. It's been a while since I've last done a live video, but it is something for 2018 that we are looking to do more of. And today I tested this software out probably about 12 months ago, and we're going to test it out again today. And we've got special guest, who we've got on the line.
We have, ring. We've got Dave Haddon from the Great City Brewery Akasha. Welcome.
Hopefully. Hello.
How's it all over at the brewery?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's been a busy day. It's nice and hot. I've been with the change of the season, I was hoping for some nice cooler weather, but it doesn't seem to be happening for us here. So it's good. We're busy. We've had lots happening, lots of beer releases, and today we actually brewed our first annual wet hop beer, which is pretty exciting.
Cool. So just a little heads up for everyone viewing in at home, on the bus, on the train, wherever you might be. We are actually at Beer Cartel HQ in Artarmon in Sydney, and Dave is at 5 Dock at Akasha Brewing. So the idea behind this is to do some cross-live interviews with brewers and kind of show you the space they work in day in and day out. Talk a little bit about what's going on. So the first thing we want to talk about.
So we have
the right beer
first. Oh yeah. So yesterday we did a post about Akasha's winning of the Rate Beer Award. So it was the #1 brewery in Australia from the Rate Beer ratings. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Hey, look, I've actually got something. Something I prepared earlier. Look at this.
Yeah, nice. Is it?
I don't know why it was sitting there. It was really weird, but pretty exciting. Bit of a surprise for us, to be honest. It was. We didn't quite realise until one of my good mates, Pat from Pirate Life, sort of called me up and said, "Did you know you just got Best Brewery in Australia from Rate Beer?" And pretty exciting stuff. It's a good one. It's a good one for us, and it's a good one for our brewers because it really does reward the beer itself. Put all the marketing, everything else aside, it really does rate. It gives us a little bit of recognition that we're brewing the good stuff.
Awesome. On that brewing the good stuff, I guess one of the other reasons we are wanting to start doing this kind of live broadcast is with all the new beer releases going on. I want to showcase and get the brewers to talk about and explain kind of what's going on with the new beers. So in my hand, we actually have the latest Akasha release, the single hop Mosaic IPA. So that only landed. Dave's got one too. So that only landed in store yesterday, and after it, we'll put the link to where you can purchase it hot off the press. That one is. So, Dave, any description? Any?
I guess a few new things for us. Getting a little bit of feedback there, guys. But it's we do each year we do 3 or 4 single hop IPAs, and it's a really good opportunity to showcase some of the we work with. Can you guys just turn yours down a little bit? I'm getting feedback. Sorry. It allows us to showcase something. Yes, we work with predominantly American hops, and most of our IPAs, like the Hopsmith and others, we use 2, 3, or 4 different hops. So it gives us an opportunity to brew with a single hop and showcase what that hop can do. Most of the hops we do use are pretty versatile, so if we use them in the right way, we can get some pretty awesome flavours out of them. So this is also an example of the seasonal cans that this is the first seasonal can that we've done as well. The seasonal can itself we'll be doing at least once a month with 12 or so of the really awesome beers that we did last year. So we picked the Mosaic because it's certainly our favourite hop as a brewery, and a pretty firm favourite out there in Punterland as well. So it's pretty exciting for us. The Mosaic is just such an awesome hop. It's a pretty big part of our Corbin as well. Corbin is a good example. We used 4 different hops in that beer, but Mosaic certainly is a big part of that. So by plucking that hop out and really showing how awesome it is. It's pretty exciting, and we love it, and it's going bananas.
Awesome. Do you want to open one? Or?
Yeah, we might just crack one and pour it, show people what it looks like. So we've got our Sydney Beer Week glass. Put it up there, hopefully people can see. So tell the good people at home what they should be expecting from this beer, Dave.
It's a pretty. It look too clear there, but it should be pretty nice and clear. We don't filter, but we do give our beers lots of time in the tank to filter naturally. We don't even fine, so it should be relatively light. So the malt based on all of our single hop IPAs is relatively light to allow that malt to come through. So you get a slight biscuity, sort of toasty little malt note coming through, not particularly sweet. But the hops, the mosaic hop, so we use the mosaic through probably late in the boil, which means there's not a lot of bitterness in there. But we're using a lot of hops in the Whirlpool and the dry hop, of course. We dry hop a lot in our brewery, and this is no exception in this beer. So getting a lot of those, not so much pine in this. This is more of that sort of more of a modern. I mean, the hop's only been around since about 2012, so really is focused on that big fruit salad. Juicy kind of hop profile that everyone seems to be after these days. So that's I think that's why it's become a pretty popular hop. I was actually taking some notes before I'm doing it. I'm literally leaving here and going straight to a hop masterclass, and I wrote down some off on that if you like. But some of the things that people get from this hop, let me tell you. Blueberry, tangerine, papaya, rose, blossoms, grass, and bubblegum. I don't get many of those, to be honest with you. I got lots of fruit salad and things like that. But it's a really versatile hop. One of the things we really enjoy with all these types of beers is giving it to the puncher and saying, what do you smell? What taste do you get out of it? And we get 50 different answers. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I've got a little confession to make. I dropped into the brewery on Saturday because I had to go out to Auburn. And on the way back, me, I usually drop in with a couple of squealers, and I picked up a squealer of this because you had it on tap, and a squealer of your Kelly Red Kelly.
Ooh, just sneaked that one in. It would have been the last keg.
How was it? It was tasty, pretty good. They were consumed over the weekend, so if you can't get... so we've got some cases of these cans. It's limited, but they'll be available in-store and online, but... you can also drop into the brewery and put that there. You can also drop into the brewery and kind of get growler and squealer fills. Your brewery has expanded quite a bit, Dave. Do you want to just talk briefly about that and what that's meant for production and being able to increase limited releases and core range in cans and moving away from large 650 ml bottles?
Yeah, there's a lot of changes we went through last year, and I think one of the biggest one was, as you say, to move away from bottles to cans. Wasn't a decision we took lightly. It was something we put a lot of thought into. I think it's pretty well known why we use cans these days as craft brewers. It's a much better receptacle for our beer. It was an interesting process for us as we moved from bottles to cans to we had the opportunity to have side-by-side sort of tastings there for a few months as we had both going. We had the last batch in the bottles and the next batch in the cans. The freshness of the new cans as that was happening was so obvious. The much less oxygen pickup, much obviously less light strike. Just so many benefits to cans. It's been amazing for us. Not to mention that people have bought a lot more cans than they did in bottles. We were probably about 20% bottles, 80% kegs before we went to cans. We're now just tipping over 50% into cans, which is a big change for us. So I think that illustrates, one, the acceptance of cans, which is awesome. But we're also seeing, I think, a lot more people moving to drinking our beers off premise as well, which is good news for people like you. So it's been good for us. That uplift, we're still got very popular in kegs as well. So that means we had to get pretty boring there for a while last year, because not just brewing. We love to brew the same thing over and over, but it didn't give us a chance to really brew a lot of seasonals last year. We just didn't have the capacity for that. But towards the end of last year, we doubled the size of the brewery here, doubled our fermentation space, which allowed us to increase the production on our cool beers or our cool beers, and then allowed us to work on some of these seasonal beers as well, which is people love our core beers, and that's what keeps us going. But we all know people love seasonals as well, so it's been exciting, and to be able to push out some of those beers we haven't been able to for a little while.
And so, how big are the pilot batches that like the Mosaic seasonal comes out? How big a batch is that you're actually making?
We're doing close to 5,000 litres, so we're doing that's not a pilot batch. we do have apart from these seasonal cans are usually beers we've either brewed before or have done a true pilot batch, and we do have actually right here behind me is our little 300-litre brewery that we do our brand new beers on. That was another addition to the brewery last year. Up until we purchased that, we were doing pilots in big batches, which was a little bit scary. So the 300 brewery allows us to be get a little bit more outside the box and be a little bit more experimental without being too afraid. So quite often now, if you come down to the brewery on the weekend, you'll know there'll be we may only have 6 beers out in the market at any one time, but there'll be 12 beers on tap. So usually a couple of trial beers, a couple of pilots, and rarer stuff that you wouldn't be able to get out in the market.
Awesome. Well, I know you have another engagement to go to, so we won't hold you up. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us in this one. Hopefully, we'll see you around. For anyone that's looking at purchasing the Akasha Mosaic, we'll post the link in the video after. But we'll say goodbye to Dave. Thanks for joining us on this first video. Hopefully, it's one of many. Thanks for joining us.
No worries. Thank you for having me, and thanks to everyone for listening. We'll talk to you all soon.
Thanks, Dave. Do you want to just give the brewery a bit of a plug? What the address, your open times?
Where are you?
Well, it would be very remiss of me, wouldn't it? It's just so we're based in Sydney in a lovely little suburb called Five Dock. The address is 10 Spencer Street in Five Dock, and as I said, we've got our tasting room here open every weekend, Friday 2 till 8, Saturday 12 till 8, and Sunday 12 till 6. Almost got that wrong, but food trucks all weekend. Lots going on. Birthday coming up in a few weeks, so there'll be lots of special beers on their way as well. So lots of stuff happening.
And that's third birthday.
Third birthday, yeah. Feels like a lot more than that, but it's only 3. We've done a lot in 3 years, that's for sure.
Fantastic. All right, well, enjoy your masterclass, and thanks for joining us, and everyone at home, thanks for tuning in. And we look forward to bringing more of these to you in the future.
Just a heads up from me for more ones in the future. I do have tune in. Well, this time next week. I think it's actually at 7 o'clock. We're doing Tofu over at Wildflower direct from the brewery. So tune in this time next week to check out that one. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Cheerio.
It's like 15 minutes.
Oh, just wait.